The clip, I'll add some commentary.
Why has nobody been to the moon in such a long time?
That's not an 8-year-old's question. That's my question. I want to know, but I think I know. Because we didn't go there, and we didn't go there, and
because we didn't go there,
and that's the way it happened. And if it didn't happen, it's nice to know why it didn't happen, so in the future, if we want to keep doing something, we need to know why something stopped in the past that we wanted to keep it going.
So that was Buzz Aldrin, the second man to allegedly have walked on the moon, telling an 8-year-old that we never went to the moon. Clearly, everyone can hear this. The video was not altered, and we're having further confirmation, and I would bet that Buzz Aldrin's life was just put in jeopardy for admitting that, or maybe they want this out, but he's kind of a rogue guy, and here he is with his symbolic Freemason hand signs as well. So it's all been a lie. That it's been a TV show since 1969 when they put a TV program on that promoted us going to the moon. I've showed where Lookout Mountain was where they made a lot of the videotapes in Laurel Canyon, Los Angeles. Then we had Werner von Braun running the Saturn program. He was a German Nazi from the V1, V2 buzz bomb program they brought over in Operation Paperclip to run the Saturn. But on his tombstone is very interesting. He read that the heavens declare the glory of God and the firmament showeth his handiwork. Why would he say that? Then we have the Challenger crew that allegedly blew up, but a lot of them, they're still alive. These people have jobs. We found them. They're working as lawyers. They're working in schools. They're alive. How could they be alive if they blew up? I mean, this has been proven over and over again, and people have actually talked to them. But the Freemasons is what's behind it all, with the secret societies. Here's Buzz Aldrin and his lodges that go into Freemasons as well. And then they had another allegedly insider write this book about Hoagland, about going to the moon, which is a bunch of baloney. But look at all the lodges these guys belong to. So this from my website, A Plain Truth. It was an article I wrote a couple years back. Freemasons involved since the beginning of NASA. Scottish Rite Freemasons planted a flag on the moon, allegedly, and here's Buzz Aldrin and John Glenn showing their Freemason rings, showing them off. But look at all the lodges, folks. Look at all them belonging to John Glenn, who was a 2-time U.S. Senator. Buzz Aldrin, Montclair Lodge, number 144, New Jersey. Edgar Mitchell, Order of Demolay Mason Artista, Lodge 29 in New Mexico. James Irwin, Tejon Lodge, number 104, Colorado Springs. Don Easel, Luther B. Turner Lodge, Ohio. Gemini 5, Master Mason, Carbondale Lodge 82, was Gordon Cooper. Virgil Grissom, Master Mason from Mitchell Lodge, number 228. 33-degree Mason, Carnival Lodge, Walter Sciarra. On and on it goes, folks. And then you have the head of NASA, the guy that was running the Apollo space program, Fred Kleineck, and running the program. And after he got done with a successful TV show, he was granted the head sovereign grand commander of the Council of the 33 degree of the ancient and accepted rite Freemasonry of the Southern Jurisdiction. That's in Washington, D.C., at the top of the pentagram. That's where Albert Pike's tomb is as well, the first Freemason that was founded, one of the first Freemasons, but we'll get into that in a minute. So here you see the rings again. They're showing off that there are Freemasons, and they're telling you the story that they went to the moon and they had this big phallic Apollo penis injecting into Isis, the moon goddess, and it's all very phallic what they show here, and then they have to show their lower levels. This is what they do to the lower levels. They're called the blue levels of Freemasonry, the first levels, and saying, hey, we went to the moon and we're so powerful. We've got the Freemasons. We were on the moon. We're the first ones. That's how cool we are. But it's a secret. So they keep the secret, and then higher up they tell them the Earth's really flat. When they get up above 33 degrees, then they get to play the lies. Like I said, Kenneth Kleineck managed the Apollo program, 33 degrees. This is what he wrote in New Age magazine. He's confirming his astronauts are brother Masons as well. And here's the list of them as well, folks. You can't deny that these are all Freemasons. So easily they could have been in on the Great Lie. And allegedly the Grand Lodge of Texas formed the Tranquility Lodge 2000 on Apollo's landing on the on the moon. Bullshit. The moon is its own luminary source. He can't land on the moon. So it's just a Freemason shitbowl, excuse me, but it's much deeper than that and been going on much longer. Albert Pike, who's buried in the Scottish Rite Mausoleum in Washington, D.C., he wrote the prophecies, the Pike prophecies, that talks about World War III, that it will take down Islam and Israel and eventually the United States as well. And then you've got Admiral Byrd, another Freemason who was Rockefeller's lap boy, who went down to Antarctica in 1927, brought down 27,000 pieces of documents of what went on down there. Led a couple more journeys down there, Operation High Jump, before he was killed. Shortly thereafter, he came back, Operation High Jump, when they started Operation Deep Freeze and put the Antarctic as a militarized base off limits to anyone and everyone. But as I said, it's all been about Freemasonry and the hidden secrets. This is how they've been able to compartmentalize it and hiding it for so long. Also, the flat earth subject, you go back to Newton, you go back to Copernicus, you go back to all these guys, they all have relations to the Jesuits and the Vatican. It's all connected. So we've connected 500 years of a massive lie that allegedly, why do we still call it a sunrise, folks? Sunset, if we're going around the sun. They couldn't fool the farmers. And look at these photos of the moon. These are original photos. What do they got? A mini me on there on the moon? Look at that leg there. I mean, these are actual photos, they say. And then you got to question, if there's no resistance, there's no friction in space, how could they lift off? What do they push against? Oh, but who took the picture when they're leaving the moon? I mean, give me a break. And then we took over 4,000 photographs people have and photoshopped and showed how they photoshopped the pictures. These are official NASA photos. When they've been photoshopped, showed they've been photoshopped. So how can you deny that? And then the absurdity of this capsule of the lunar module, the LEM, that they crammed inside three guys and fit in there and went for days across space, 238,000 miles in this tiny little capsule, had to change their suits 3 different times, one to flight, one to get on the moon, one to come back on. And then it's just ridiculous that you think about these guys putting on these suits in this tiny little capsule, and then they're heading out and heading back in through the nose cone, because that's how they have to get in and out in order to get into the lunar module to land it on the moon. It's absolutely ridiculous. And then how about the landing? They come in at 22,000 miles an hour and slow and hit impact. They say at 60 miles an hour on their back. 60 miles an hour in the water, you'd break your back, folks. Impossible. In the world, it's all theater. It's all a lie, and the lie's been broken up, and now Buzz Aldrin is confirming it. We have confirmation. They never went to the moon. Plain truth out. Peace. Love one another. Catch you next one.